Settling down means committing to a place for an extended period of time, where you get familiar with it and hopefully feel happy and confident in it. But what if you don't? What if it feels like you live some strange life that not meant to be yours and you are a character in a story of a family that you were born to? I know, we can't choose where we get to be born, but we can totally choose where we want to settle down in our adult lives. I always felt like I haven't experienced the world enough to take a seat somewhere and call it a home. Before I discovered slow traveling, my experiences were limited to a few days abroad here and there with slim travel itineraries and a life back home in a permanent place with my own postal code that I belonged to. It all had too much of a familiar flavor to it, something I knew too well, nothing unexpected, the people, the places, the same conversations about weather with every seasonal change as if it was nothing like a year or 2 or 3 years ago. I always felt like there is so much more to life. We live in a shared world, but our experiences on this planet could be so much different. I was always curious how people live in different parts of the city, the country, the planet, so I decided to pack my things and travel to the other part of the country to trade my big city Toronto life to a more slow and perhaps conscious one. Yesterday was my first night in my new home in the forest. I arrived late at night, so today was full of errands. I went to Dance Market, which is about 8 kilometers away. It is the closest market to me, so I had to be very strategic with my shopping list as I might not have another opportunity to get groceries during the week. I got everything for my comfort meal recipes for the week, but I'm planning to make ravioli with mushroom sauce today and munch on some local berries. They are so incredibly sweet. I had some already and I think they will go in no time. Getting back to the topic of my limited life experiences that I had in the world, this is the first and the most obvious reason why I don't want to settle down. It's like going to a show and choosing seats without looking at the floor plan, blindly, without a close consideration of the feelings that I want to experience during the show. If I want to feel the energy in a very intense way, it could be the first row seats. This is when I choose to settle down in a boiling city with a prime location that most people will dream to live in. Or maybe I want to have a more private experience and pick the balcony seats, somewhere where I can be close enough to the energy source, but consciously choosing to be distant and observe from above, maintaining my peace in a spot where I can take a nap and no one will judge me for it. Reflecting on life now, when I was younger, I never thought of those things. Why I live where I live, how do I feel, and how I would like to feel. These days, I try to feel deeply and respond to every itch that I have and scratch it while I can. Realistically speaking, how do you even know how certain experiences feel like? You can only imagine and think that that's what you want, but you can't know for sure before you try it yourself. Reason number 2, the pressure of commitment. I definitely have commitment issues when it comes to a place that I'm unsure about. Before moving into this forest cabin, I was static for a year and a half. You would think girl will accumulate lots of stuff, clothes, home decor, etc. But I like to use nice things, a lot. So I resisted buying a lot of expensive pieces as I knew I won't stay there for much longer and probably will be on the move very soon. So I didn't want any possessions to weigh me down. I guess it also made me a minimalist. I had fewer pieces that I really loved, but that's also all I had. When relocating often, there is no pressure of commitment at all. I knew I could always leave and set up a new home elsewhere with better culture, desired location, and perhaps more suitable for me weather conditions. Speaking of weather and climates, which also leads me to reason number 3. Always be in climates that I thrive in. To continue with analogies, let me give you one more. Snowdrops thrive in colder climates, and cactus plants need the heat and the dryness. I found out some time ago that I'm more like a fig tree. I thrive in warm tropical climates. That's when my skin glows and my hair curls. I can totally survive low temperatures, don't get me wrong, as I did all these years living in Canada. But we don't want to survive, we want to thrive. Living in tropical Mexico a few years ago taught me that in the right weather conditions, everything becomes easier. My mood is stable, I have loads of high impact energy, my nervous system is strong, and I generally feel happier and more positive. Genuine positivity also comes from the people that surround me. I can say with confidence that people that live in warmer climates don't complain as much. You never want to be around complainers. They feed off new topics to complain about, and that stuff drains my heart and soul. So reason number 4 is seek my people around the globe. I feel like traveling showed me how unique the people are in different parts of the world. I joked once that I traveled to meet the unique people I never met, the souls that match mine. Most of my life, I felt like a weird frog. It took me a big part of my adult life to realize that it's okay to not be understood or heard by everyone, but it's not okay to be talking to the same people that can never understand and try harder to deliver a thought that isn't valued by that group. I met so many soulmates on the road during my travels that made me feel heard and could relate to my thoughts and feelings. I guess it's a matter of speaking to the right audience that don't make you feel insane or overly sensitive. That could be a weakness in one community, but a strength in the other. Our life is built of small meanings that form a bigger goal to chase. Find people that create their own meanings, have goals in life, and make action a priority. It is the following day. I hopped on a plane to reach a new country, a place on my list that I always wanted to stay in for an extended visit. But before I get there, I want to leave you with my final reason why I don't want to settle down. This might not land good with rational people, but I'm going to say it anyways. Reason number 5. I do what my intuition tells me to do. It could be crazy, it could be irrational, but if it feels right, I trust it and I act on it. Intuitively, we all know what is the right thing to do, but the fears that stay in the way took us out of doing the things that sound irrational and perhaps crazy. Travel and lose stability, distance from people that no longer feel like ours, start a new business that seems crazy. Our brains are built to execute the desires of our hearts. There is no reason why we need to listen to the chatter of the brain, why we should or shouldn't do something. It's not important because that's not in the brain's interest to become something in this life. The goal of the brain is to stay rational and survive. What kind of life is that, living in survival mode without reaching the extraordinary where the heart can take us? My irrational heart and intuition told me not to settle down yet, so I don't. I know life has more things to show me before I can settle down somewhere in the world. I followed my intuition to a new location. In the next episode, I will show you what happens next. See you soon. Cheers.